I know exactly what this looks like from the outside. You see a screenshot, my photo, short dress, city lights behind me, caption, outside like a single girl again. Then you see his screenshot, my husband standing in front of our house with a suitcase. Caption, since my wife wants to be a single girl so bad, I'm giving her exactly what she wants. Tag, me, my family, our friends, and your brain fills in the rest. She cheated. She was living a double life. She deserved it. That's what the comments said anyway. So let me say this very clearly before I tell you the whole story. I did not cheat. I did not go out and secretly meet someone. I did not plan to leave my husband. What I did was post one picture with one caption that I thought was funny, dramatic, and harmless. I wanted attention. I wanted to feel admired. I wanted to feel like I still had it. And my husband decided to reply, in public. So if you're going to judge me, and I know you will, at least judge me for what actually happened, not just the screenshot version. And yes, if you're watching this as an episode, go ahead. Like, comment where you're from. Send this to your friend who posts single girl captions while being in a relationship. You can pretend it's just for fun. I know better now. My husband's name is Daniel. We've been together for 7 years, married for 4. We met the way most people would call boring, through mutual friends at a birthday party. No dramatic meet cute, no disaster flight, no crazy coincidence. He was just kind. He made sure everyone had something to drink, gave his seat to someone else, asked questions and actually listened. At the end of the night, he walked me to my car in the rain and held his jacket over my head. Of course I liked him. Fast forward a few years, and life became what it becomes for most couples. Work, bills, grocery lists, who's picking up detergent on the way home. Somewhere in there, I discovered how good I looked through a phone camera. It sounds silly when I say it like that, but it's true. At first it was normal photos, then it was filters, then it was, let me take that again, the angle is weird. Then it was me watching how people reacted whenever I posted. And people did react. Compliments from friends, hearts from old classmates, messages from people I barely knew. Wow, you look amazing. You're glowing. Okay, model. Do you know how quickly you can get used to that? Meanwhile, Daniel is not a social media person. He has an account. He posts maybe twice a year. A picture from a hike, a family birthday, our anniversary. When he compliments me, it's in person. You look nice today. I like that dress. Your hair looks good like that. Calm, simple, real. I should have valued that more. Instead, I started comparing his quiet, everyday attention to the flood of dramatic comments from people online. Online, I was stunning, unreal, fire. At home, I was, hey, can you pass me the salt? And we need to pay the electricity bill. Nothing was wrong exactly. He didn't treat me badly. He didn't ignore me. But life with him started to feel muted. And in my head, I turned that into a story. He doesn't appreciate me. He takes me for granted. He doesn't see me the way other people do. Was that fair? Maybe not. But that's what I told myself. The first time Daniel said anything about my posts was actually very gentle. I just uploaded a picture in a fitted dress in front of a mirror. Nothing illegal. Nothing that would get flagged. Just a lot of focus on my body and my face. The caption was something like, if he doesn't hype you like this, hype yourself. I thought it was cute, empowering, whatever. 2 hours later, Daniel came home from work, kissed me, asked about my day, then said, I saw your new post. I smiled. Yeah? Do you like it? He hesitated, just for a second. You look really good, he said. You always do. There was a little but hanging in the air, and I heard it. But what? I asked. He rubbed the back of his neck. It's not a big thing, the caption. It kind of sounds like I don't appreciate you. That's not about you, I said immediately. It's just a trend. Everyone writes like that. It's like a style. I know it's a style, he replied. I'm just saying, when people who don't know us see that, they might think you're talking about me. And, I said, already getting defensive, why do you care what strangers think? I don't, he said, but I care about how you present us, as in, us as a couple. Wow, I laughed, even though I was annoyed. So you want to start controlling what I post now? I didn't say that, he answered calmly. I just wanted to tell you how it made me feel. How you feel, I repeated. Do you even notice how I feel? I post something I like, and instead of saying you looked great, you want to have a serious talk about captions. His face fell a little. I said you looked great, he reminded me. Yeah, followed by a lecture, I snapped, walking away. You know what? Never mind. Looking back now, that conversation was a warning light. Instead of hearing, hey, this bothers me, I heard, I want to control you. So I decided the problem wasn't my posts. It was his sensitivity. The thing about posting online is, the more engagement you get, the more the app shows you to people. And the more you're shown, the more reactions you get. It becomes this loop. You post, you get likes, you feel good, the high fades, you post again. Somewhere in there, it stops being sharing your life and starts being feeding an invisible machine. I began to understand what worked. Safe captions got nice comments from family and friends. Bolder captions got wow, who is she from strangers. I liked the second type more. And the more my follower count ticked up, the more I separated online me from home me. Online me was glowing, smiling, carefree, always out somewhere interesting. Home me was complaining that Daniel left crumbs on the counter. The more the gap grew, the more I resented him. Why aren't you this excited to see me? Why don't you write long paragraphs about how beautiful I am? Why don't you comment 10 heart eyes on my photos? I never said those sentences out loud. I just let them sit in my chest like little stones. When Daniel did try, it felt small. If he wrote, "You look amazing," under a photo, I would roll my eyes and think, "You're just doing that because I asked." He was in a situation he couldn't win. Stay silent and I'd say he doesn't care. Say something and I'd say he's only doing it for show. Yes, I know how that sounds. You know those audio trends? One person posts a joke, someone else copies it. Then suddenly every second video has the same sentence with a slightly different outfit. A few weeks before everything happened, a phrase started circulating. Outside like a single girl again. Sometimes people wrote it under girls' night pictures. Sometimes under a photo alone at a cafe. It was clearly meant as a joke, like, no husband tonight, out of office, pretend I'm free. Some women who posted it were actually single. Some were in relationships. The whole point was to play with that line. I saw it everywhere. Every time I scrolled, there it was. Someone twirling in a dress, laughing with friends, caption, outside like a single girl again. And the comments, you look unreal. Single girl energy, love it. Okay, who let you out like this? Jealousy, attention, hype. I saved the caption in my notes, just in case. I told myself it was harmless. A trend is just a trend. People know how to take a joke. Besides, I wasn't actually going to write it. I just liked how it looked. That's what I told myself. If I'm honest, things between Daniel and me were already tense before the photo. He had been working longer hours. New project, more responsibility, constantly tired. I had been going out more. After-work drinks that turned into late evenings. Content walks, with my friend Lena, basically us walking around the city looking for nice backgrounds. Daniel tried to talk to me about it once. You're never really here, he said one night when I came home after 10. I live here, don't I? I shot back, kicking off my shoes. You live here physically, he said carefully. Mentally, you're always in your phone. I rolled my eyes. Here we go again. Tasha, he said, using that quiet tone that meant he was trying not to start a fight. I'm not asking you to stop posting. I'm just worried. Everything is about angles and captions and how things look. Sometimes I feel like you're building a movie version of your life and I'm just some extra. So now I'm not allowed to have hobbies. I threw my bag on the chair. Plenty of people share their life. Sharing is one thing, he said. Performing being single when you're not is another. What does that even mean? I demanded. You know what it means, he replied. The outside like a single girl kind of things. The no man can handle me style. It doesn't match what we say we are building. I crossed my arms. If you trusted me, a caption wouldn't scare you. It doesn't scare me, he said. It makes me wonder why you enjoy pretending you're not married. I don't pretend anything, I snapped. It's just vibes. That's how people talk now. Okay, he said finally. But one day, you might write something you can't explain away as a joke. I laughed it off, but that sentence stuck in my head. One day, you might write something you can't explain away. Guess what day that was? The night it happened, I wasn't going anywhere special. Lena had texted me, "Let's go out. I need pictures before I cut my hair." I was tired but also restless. Daniel had texted an hour earlier. "Running late. Don't wait up for dinner. There's pasta in the fridge." I stared at that message too long. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was working, providing, being responsible. But the little voice in my head translated it as, "You're not a priority." So when Lena suggested going out, I said yes. I took a shower, did my hair with more effort than usual, put on a dress I hadn't worn in months. In the mirror, I looked like the version of myself I posted online, curated, polished, a little unreal. I took a couple of selfies before I left, just for later. On the way out, I saw the note where Daniel had left money for the cleaner and written "thank you" with a smiley face. It irritated me for some reason. You have energy to leave notes for strangers, but you don't have time to take me out, I thought. Did I ever ask him to take me out? Not clearly. I just expected him to read my mind. Lena and I picked a spot with fairy lights and a brick wall. We took turns posing and pretending to walk, while the other snapped 20 photos per second. More relaxed, she said. Pretend you're laughing at something. I laughed at nothing. That's it, she said, scrolling. Oh, this one is good. You look like you're about to step into a movie. I looked, chin up, hair perfect, one heel slightly lifted. Behind me, the street was blurred, the light soft. I looked. Free. Not like a married woman walking home to leftovers and a tired husband. Like someone in between stories. Someone with options. I love it, I said. We sat down at an outside table. She ordered wine. I pretended to check the menu while really editing my photo. Brighten, sharpen, smoothing, but not too much. Add a film grain filter so it seemed effortless, even though I'd spent 15 minutes adjusting. Then came the caption. I tried a few things. City nights, finally out again. Outside, feeling like myself again. Married, but the streets missed me. Too obvious. My eyes went to my saved notes. Outside, like a single girl again. I stared at it for a solid minute. I knew in that moment that Daniel would not like it. I knew that, 100%. I also knew what kind of comments it would attract. I wanted those comments more. It's just a joke, I told myself. Everyone will know it's not literal. I have a ring on in the picture. People aren't stupid. I could almost hear Daniel's voice. One day, you might write something you can't explain away. I wrote it anyway. Outside like a single girl again. I added a location tag, chose 9 p.m. as the perfect time, hit post. A little electric rush went through me. Within seconds, wow. Okay, model. Single girl energy, I see you. DM me then. I laughed, showed Lena. This is so chaotic, she giggled. You're going to get Daniel in trouble with your followers. Please, I said, waving it off. He doesn't even check my page that often. He barely looks at his own. That sentence, "he doesn't even check," was my permission slip. I let the likes roll in and ignored the little knot in my stomach. Normally, if I posted something noticeable, Daniel would text. Sometimes it was a simple, "nice picture." Sometimes, "where was this?" Sometimes a teasing "influencer life, huh?" This time, nothing. I saw his profile picture pop up in the story views. He had definitely seen it. No message, no call, no. At first, I was annoyed. Wow, so you see your wife posting and you can't even acknowledge she looks good. Then, after an hour, I started to feel something else. Concern. I sent him a casual text. "How's work? Alive?" He replied 10 minutes later. "Busy, at the office." Cold? Not really, but shorter than usual. "You okay?" I wrote. "We'll talk at home." That made my stomach clench. Lena saw my face. "Is that him?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "He saw the post. He says we'll talk at home." "Ooh," she winced. "He's not going to love that caption." "It's not that serious," I insisted. "It's just a vibe. If he trusted me, he wouldn't behave like this." "Maybe," she said carefully. "But you also kind of poked a very obvious line." I rolled my eyes. "You're starting to sound like him," I muttered. But inside, I was uneasy. So what did I do? Did I delete the post? No. I answered 3 more comments and ordered dessert. When I got home later, the lights were off. Not unusual, given how late it was. His car was in the driveway, so he was there. I took off my heels quietly, half expecting him to appear in the hallway with that disappointed face. Nothing. "Daniel?" I called. Silence. I checked my phone. No new messages. Weird. Maybe he fell asleep on the couch, I thought. I walked into the living room. Empty. The only light came from the aquarium. The little blue glow made the room look unfamiliar. "Daniel?" I called again. No answer. My phone vibrated. For a moment, my heart leaped. Maybe it was him writing from the bedroom, some dramatic, "we need to talk." It wasn't. It was a notification from the app. "Daniel tagged you in a post." My breath caught. Tagged me. I clicked it. There he was. Standing in front of our house, suitcase by his side, expression neutral. Not angry, not smiling. Just, done. Caption. "Since my wife wants to be a single girl so bad, I'm giving her exactly what she wants." He tagged me. He tagged my mother. He tagged his parents. He tagged his siblings. He tagged a couple of our mutual friends. For a second, I thought it was some kind of twisted joke. Then I saw the comments already pouring in. "Wait, what? Are you serious? Tell me this is a joke." "Bro, no way she really posted that." "I saw her caption earlier. Yikes." My face went hot, then cold. I refreshed. The likes were climbing fast. People love drama, especially when it's not theirs. "What are you doing?" I whispered to no one. Another notification. "Your mother mentioned you in a comment." I clicked. Under his post, my mother had written, "Call me, now." My stomach dropped. I refreshed my own page. My single girl photo was still up, sitting there like evidence. Dozens of new comments had appeared. "Oh, this explains his post." "You really wrote this while married?" "This is wild." "You played too much." Some of my own friends had dropped little eye emojis. I felt like the floor had moved under me. This wasn't a private disagreement anymore. He had taken my joke and turned it into a public verdict. My first instinct was to delete my photo. I opened it, hit the 3 dots, tapped delete, gone. The app asked, "Are you sure?" Yes, I was very sure. But the problem with the internet is that nothing truly disappears. My inbox was already full of screenshots. Lena sent, "He posted this. I'm so sorry. People are sending me your photo like crazy." My cousin, "Girl, what are you doing? Why would you write that under a picture while married?" A coworker, "Please tell me you two are pranking everyone." I tried calling Daniel. Once, twice, 5 times. Straight to voicemail. "Hey, it's Daniel. Leave a message." "Daniel, what are you doing?" I said, my voice shaking. "Why would you post that? Call me. We need to talk about this, not make a spectacle." I hung up, called again. Voicemail. "This is not funny," I said, this time angrier. "You're making us look insane. Delete that post. We can discuss this like adults, not like some reality show." Nothing. I texted him. "Delete that. We'll talk at home." No reply. I marched to the bedroom, ready to confront him. When I turned on the light, my heart dropped for the second time that night. His side of the closet was half empty, not stripped completely bare, but missing enough that it was obvious this wasn't just "I got changed." A pair of shoes gone, his favorite jacket, a stack of shirts, the small suitcase he used for trips missing. On his nightstand, his watch charger was gone. On mine, there was a printed sheet of paper, folded once. I opened it with trembling hands. "You can have the attention. I'll take my dignity. Don't worry, I already spoke to a lawyer before posting. You wanted to play single for the internet. I'm just updating my status to match yours. Daniel." I sank onto the bed. So this wasn't an impulsive move. He had planned this. He'd spoken to a lawyer. He'd written out the note, printed it, packed his things, taken the photo and posted it. All while I was taking pictures under fairy lights. The idea that he'd been thinking about this in advance made me furious and scared at the same time. How long had he been considering it? How many times had he watched me post something and thought, maybe this is not where I want to be anymore? Instead of asking those questions, my brain went straight to self-defense. He is overreacting. It's just a caption. Everyone knew it was a joke. I clung to that, even though deep down, I knew this was about more than one sentence. My mother called 3 times in a row. I didn't want to answer, but if I didn't, she'd show up at my door. "Hello?" "What is this?" she demanded without greeting. "What is this nonsense I'm seeing online?" "Mum, he's being dramatic," I said quickly. "It's just, you wrote that you were outside like a single girl again under a photo of yourself," she cut in. "While married, publicly, for everyone to see, and now he's posted that he is divorcing you. Do you understand how this looks?" "It was a joke," I insisted. "It's like an internet thing. Everyone talks like that." "You are not everyone," she snapped. "You are married, and you know your husband is not comfortable with this kind of thing. We talked about this already, remember?" She had in fact told me before, "Don't play with your marriage online. People are watching." At the time, I'd rolled my eyes and called her old-fashioned. "Mum, you're taking his side," I said now, tears of anger in my eyes. "You're not even asking how I feel about being humiliated like this in front of everyone." "Humiliated?" she said. "You humiliated yourself when you wrote that caption." He simply responded. "That's not fair," I whispered. "What did you expect him to do?" she asked. "Smile and pretend everything is fine, while people send him your post saying, 'Guess your wife is back on the market.' He's a man, not a statue." I didn't answer. "My advice," she said, sighing, "is to stop calling him, stop arguing in public, and talk to an actual professional. Because right now, everyone is forming an opinion based on screenshots, and you are not helping yourself." She hung up before I could reply. A second later, my sister texted, "You really wrote that? For likes? I love you, but I can't defend you on this one." His brother messaged too. "He warned you so many times about acting single. Now you can be. Take care." I read it 3 times. He warned you so many times. Had he? In my head, we just had little disagreements about captions. In his head, it had clearly been bigger. By midnight, our situation was no longer just between friends and family. Someone had screenshotted his post and my old caption from someone who had grabbed it before I deleted it and put them side by side. Title: She posted outside like a single girl again. And her husband replied like this. That post went everywhere. People used our screenshots in relationship discussion groups. You know the type. Who is wrong here? Vote. I couldn't sleep, so I did the worst possible thing. I read the comments. She wanted to act single. She can stay that way. Why get married if you miss the streets this much? He's petty for posting it, but she started it. Nothing wrong with captions like that if both are fine with it. Clearly he wasn't. She didn't respect his boundaries. He responded publicly because she disrespected him publicly. Some defended me. Maybe it's just a joke. People are too sensitive. He shouldn't handle private issues on social media. This is why marriage scares me. Everything turns into content. But even those didn't make me feel better, because they still said the same thing between the lines. You created this mess. I closed the app, opened it again 30 seconds later, checked if Daniel had deleted his post. He had not. Instead, he had changed his profile picture to a neutral image. Removed our wedding photos from his highlighted stories. It was like watching someone erase you in real time. When I finally fell asleep around 4, my dreams were just distorted versions of the same scenario. Being in a room where everyone had my caption printed on their shirts. At 8, I woke up to my phone buzzing non-stop. New notifications, new messages, new tags. I thought, maybe he calmed down and posted something clarifying. He had posted something, just not what I hoped. A picture of a stack of papers on a wooden table. No faces, no house. Just the corner of a pen and the top page that clearly read Petition for Dissolution of Marriage. Caption: Unfollowing my wife, unmarrying her too. Comments were turned off. He tagged no one, he didn't need to. People shared it anyway. Someone commented under my last non-deleted photo. Check his page. I threw the phone on the bed, then picked it up again. He had blocked me. His profile wasn't visible from my account anymore. I only saw the post because people sent screenshots. It hit me then. This wasn't just a dramatic reaction for likes. He had actually gone and filed. This was real. I wasn't playing at single girl aesthetic anymore. I was about to be literally single. On paper. And I had handed him the story. He had blocked me on the app, but not on email, so I wrote him. At first it was emotional and messy. You blindsided me. Posting about divorce before we even talked properly is cruel. I feel betrayed. I deleted that draft and started over. We need to discuss this without social media in the middle. I understand you're hurt about the caption, and I'm sorry for that, but going straight to divorce feels extreme. Can we at least have one conversation in person before lawyers and posts decide everything? I read it 3 times, tried not to sound too begging, pressed send. He replied an hour later, short. We talked about this many times. You dismissed my feelings. Social media is where you chose to perform being single again. I chose to respond in the same space you used. The legal process was not decided yesterday. I started asking questions weeks ago. If you want to communicate further, please go through my lawyer. His contact is attached. I wish you well. Daniel. I stared at the line about weeks. Weeks. So while I was planning new outfits and captions, he had been quietly thinking, how do I get out of this? The part of me that always needs to feel like the injured one latched onto that. So he was already halfway out, I thought. Maybe the caption was just an excuse. Maybe he wanted to leave anyway, and used this to make me the villain. That interpretation was much easier to live with than the alternative, that my behavior had pushed him there. Sometime later that day, between calls from my mother and messages from friends, I got a different kind of DM, from a small brand that sells makeup and clothes. Hey Queen, we saw the drama. Sorry you're going through that. But honestly, your photo was stunning. Crazy question, would you be open to doing a single girl glow-up campaign with us when you feel better? Like turning pain into power? We'd pay, of course. I stared at it, half horrified, half flattered. Even in the middle of my life burning, someone looked at me and saw potential for a narrative arc. Part of me started writing the comeback story in my head. New hair, new apartment, photos with captions like, "He left, but my highlighter stayed." Big "I'm thriving" energy. It would be so easy to package this as a rebirth, ignore my own part in creating it, and just sell the recovery. I didn't answer the brand, but the message stayed there, blinking at me, reminding me that in this world, even your worst decisions can be turned into a campaign, if you let them. Lena came over that evening with groceries and wide eyes. "I still can't believe he actually posted that," she said as soon as I opened the door. "He went all the way." She hugged me, and for a moment I let myself sink into the comfort of someone who was clearly on my side. "He's making me look like a monster," I said into her shoulder, like I was out doing something wrong when it was just a caption. She pulled back and looked at me. "You know I love you," she said slowly. I frowned. "Why does it sound like there's a but coming?" "Because there is," she sighed. "It wasn't just a caption. You knew exactly what it sounded like. You told me yourself he wasn't okay with stuff like that." "So you're taking his side too," I said, stepping back. "I'm not taking sides," she said. "I'm just not going to lie to you. I was there when you posted it. You literally said, 'He barely checks, he'll survive.'" I opened my mouth, then closed it. "You wrote outside like a single girl again, while wearing your ring," she continued. "It's like inviting confusion and attention, and you liked the attention. You laughed at those 'DM me then' comments." "I didn't answer them," I argued immediately. "That has to count for something." "It does," she nodded. "You didn't step over that line, but you walked right next to it and waved." I stared at the floor. "You're supposed to support me," I muttered. "I am supporting you," she said softly. "But real support sometimes means telling you where you messed up, not just telling you you're the victim of everything." I hated that she was right. I hated even more that she said it out loud. If I strip away all the excuses, there is an ugly little truth underneath. I wanted a reaction out of Daniel. Not necessarily a public post and a lawyer, obviously, but a reaction. I wanted him to look at my photo, feel a jolt of fear and think I could lose her. I wanted him to message me something like, "What do you mean single girl again? Are we okay? Why would you write that?" Then I imagined I would explain, "Relax, it's just a trend. Why are you so quiet these days? Do you even care what I post?" He would say, "Of course I care. I don't want to lose you. I'll try harder." We'd hug, maybe cry, have some intense conversation, and then go on being us. In my mind, the caption was a tool, a little spark to light a bigger conversation. Instead, what I got was silence at first, then a public declaration that the conversation was over. He skipped to the ending I didn't think he'd ever seriously choose. And the part of me that still needs to feel like I'm in control hates that. When I tell this story, people usually split into two camps. Half say, he overreacted. Divorce over a picture is wild. He should have handled it in private. The other half say, she had it coming. She wanted to act single. He just took her seriously. The truth is, probably somewhere in the middle. Do I think posting divorce online before sitting down with me face to face was harsh? Yes. Do I think I played with something serious like it was content? Also, yes. Daniel is not perfect. He bottles things up. He goes quiet instead of arguing. He worked so much that I often felt like an accessory to his schedule. But I am also not a victim of random bad luck. I was told, clearly, more than once that certain captions made him feel disrespected. I dismissed that as insecurity. I told myself he needed to adapt to modern humor. I wanted the benefits of a stable marriage and the thrill of being perceived as available without the consequences. I wanted to hear, "Wow, single," and answer, "No, I'm married actually," like it was a plot twist. I wanted to live in that in-between space where I could always say, "Relax, it's just internet," while still enjoying how close to the line it looked. And he simply removed the in-between. People love clean endings. He left, She realized her mistake. They got back together, and she never posted again. He left, she became a better person, found someone new, and now uses her platform to teach others not to do what she did. You want me to say I am completely changed, that I threw my phone away, that I only care about inner peace now. The reality is less pretty. I still have the app. I still take selfies. I still feel that pull when I see other women playing with single energy captions while being in relationships. But there is a difference now. Every time my finger hovers over post, I see Daniel in front of the house with that suitcase. I hear my mother's voice. You humiliated yourself first. I hear my own friend asking, why did you enjoy walking that close to the line? Do I regret what happened? Yes. Do I regret the attention I used to get? Less than I should, probably. And that's the part people don't like to hear. That you can be genuinely hurt by the consequences of your own actions while still missing the thrill that led you there. I'm not proud of that, but it's true. When I strip away all the drama, the story can be told in one simple, brutal line. I posted a single girl caption for attention while married. My husband posted our divorce for clarity. I wanted strangers to comment, you still got it. I got strangers to comment, he still had enough self-respect to leave. I thought I was being clever, playful, on trend. He took me at my word. So now, when I see that caption under someone else's photo, I don't rush to comment something cute anymore. I just wonder, does her partner know? Do they care? Did they already have the talk mine tried to have with me? Is she listening? Or is she also telling herself, it's just a joke? Because that's how it starts. With a joke. With an aesthetic. With one caption, you are sure you can explain away. Until one day, someone who has been quietly warning you decides they are tired of being the punchline. And they reply in the only language they think you'll finally take seriously. A suitcase. A printed note. A signed paper. No emojis. No jokes. No room to say, relax, you're overreacting. Just a simple message. You wanted to look single. Now you are. You wanted attention. You got it. You just never imagined it would look like this.